its glitz and glam, surrounded by glitters and sparkles, have we forgotten our true self? The world that appears to be so beautiful, so joyous, so new. Is it really true? To know the answers to these questions, which we all have in our mind at some point in time, we have invited an extremely special guest, AiR, Atman in Ravi. He lived a life of what we would all call the dream, a life of success, fame, fortune, and achievement. But that was before he took the road less traveled. It is my pleasure to introduce you all to AiR, an iconic entrepreneur who revolutionized retailing in India only to walk away from the mega retail empire he had created. Intriguing, isn't it? I cannot help but think what is often said: money cannot buy happiness. Of course, we all seem pretty happy. But is that really true? Well, food for thought. Today, AiR is a spiritual mentor, a prolific transformational author, a TEDx speaker, and a philanthropist. He has written over 65 books on life, karma, death, rebirth, spirituality. He has composed over 1,400 bhajans. He runs 3 humanitarian homes for the destitute spread across Bangalore, which take care of over 800 people every day. They pick people from the streets and help them stand on their feet. After his realization, AiR's mission in life is to help people discover the way to eternal happiness through enlightenment. Welcome, AiR, to this very special podcast. I have so many questions to ask him, so why don't we head over? Welcome to the show, AiR, and it's so wonderful to be speaking to you, and I hope in the course of this podcast, I get to know you a little better. The world gets to know you a little better, and we would love to actually pick your brain and see actually what keeps you ticking, and what is it that's going on in your head. So I have a couple of questions which me and I'm sure everybody out there watching and listening wants to know at this point. You were running an extremely successful business. You went down that path, and then you decided one fine day you've had enough of that path, and you decided to actually change course and take up spirituality. I know, I don't know, was it easy? What made you do it? And why that sudden shift in gear?
Malaika, everybody wants to be happy, right? But what have we been taught? We've been taught right from the time we were in school, come first in class. Haven't you told your son, come first in class? Because the reason being this, we believe success is happiness. I was one of those. I built a store, and then a mega store, and then India's biggest store. I brought modern retailing into India much before
what you see retailing now.
So I went to the US, I went to Europe, I saw such huge mega stores. But then we make money. We all need money, right? You can't be sitting here, we need clothes, we need food, we need a home.
For all that you need money.
Yeah. But what I realized, that the first peak of happiness is achievement. Are all successful people happy? Do you think that all the rich people in this world are very happy? Do you think so? Because the objective of success is to make money. I know that I'm talking to somebody who's an icon of the glamorous world.
No, that's very sweet, because I think that's something which we are always trying to figure within ourselves. It's a constant battle. Am I happy? Am I happy with what I have? Is this good enough? We're always wondering. I can speak for myself. Yeah. I always feel there's a thirst in me. I need to kind of achieve or need to get that little extra something, because I feel if I do, it'll make me a little more happy. So I guess that's a constant battle as humans, and we're trying to constantly understand the right measure or the right path to see how much of success and how much of money do we actually need in our life to make us happy.
But do you know why? The problem is, we are trying to become happy. When you're trying to become happy, I want that latest Tesla car. I want to go to Antarctica. I want my private jet. We are trying to become happy. But happiness is not in becoming. You've got to be happy.
In the moment.
In the moment.
That process is different from actually living in the moment.
Yes. We confuse pleasure to be happiness. See, pleasure, we all enjoy pleasure. Who doesn't? But leisure is momentary. It is ephemeral. It comes, it goes. But true happiness flows. That's why
But how do you hold on to that true happiness? Is it something that is forever? Is it transactional? Is it something that you can actually hold on, or is it something that just keeps disappearing and you have to keep finding it and keep grabbing it back into your life?
Actually, I created what is called the happy mantra. It's very easy. The happy mantra is HAPPY. Okay, H says happiness is success. So you don't have to be an Ambani or an Adani to become happy. You can be happy.
You can be an Arora and be extremely happy.
You're happy, right? You're happy.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
H, happiness is success. Don't run after success.
Okay.
A, very important, accept. Accept
Acceptance.
without protest. See what happens? We get upset. Oh, ye kyun nahi hua? Wo kyun nahi hua? Why did that guy not call me? We're always getting upset because we have not learned the art of acceptance. So H-A, P. Peace is the foundation of happiness. For where there is no peace, there can be no happiness. So I also write songs, right? So I tell people, Shanti se mila, kya hasi anand, satya ke chit mein mila, Satchidanand. You reach a state of Satchit Anand. Satchit Anand, Malaika, is that state. You know it. You're in the industry. You know. You know that we come and we go. This world is a show.
Nothing perfect. Yeah.
We all know it, right?
Absolutely.
But we lose our peace. How often you lose your peace? We all.
Maybe six times a week.
So if you remember the happy mantra, HAP, the next P is purpose. Discover the purpose of your existence. You think, and the whole world thinks of you as the most glamorous princess. But do you know what you actually are? You are not just a princess. You are a goddess. You have forgotten. The biggest sin is you're living as a princess, but you are a goddess. You are a divine soul. And when you discover this, you have achieved your ultimate goal of Ananda. So this is HAPP. And why? We are always yearning. Ye chahiye, wo chahiye. Now, some things we will get, some things we don't get. So we become unhappy, we become disappointed. So this is a happy mantra.
So your happy mantra, HAPPY, is happiness, acceptance, peace, purpose and yearning.
Don't
That's it.
Yeah. So life is so simple. And I can promise you that you will be the happiest woman in the world if you just follow the happy mantra.
Well, I will. Actually, it's nice to hear that. Maybe I would, sometimes you need to actually implement it in your life. You hear it, but you may not implement it. But from today, I'm going to wake up every day and say, I'm a goddess.
Oh, wow.
Wake up and I'm going to say that.
I'm
a goddess.
And you actually are. You are a divine
And I don't
soul.
need somebody else to tell me that.
No.
I don't. I can say that to myself.
This is realization. कि मैं आत्मा हूं. I am a divine soul. SOUL means spark of unique life. There can be nobody like Malaika in this world. You are unique. And you have been blessed with a spark of unique life.
That's interesting. Wow, that's a lot we're discovering today. Well, moving on from learning your happy mantra and discovering the fact that you moved from a business background to a successful business background into spirituality, do you miss being part of that life? The on-the-go, go-getter, achieving, not that you're not achieving today, but there's a different sort of a high when like you said, when you're successful, when you're chasing those sort of dreams. Do you miss that glitz and glamour that was?
Actually, I used to miss it. I used to miss that glamour and that glitz for some point of time, because we get addicted to it, right?
It is.
If you don't have the show and the fun and
you want
I've been to 120 countries. I even went to Antarctica a couple of times to play with the penguins. So I had a very fun
fulfilling, wholesome.
Somebody from the Bollywood industry told me in Bangalore, you need to get a limousine. So I was one of the only guys 2 decades ago who got a 6-door limousine into Bangalore. So this was the glamorous life you're talking about. But then a time came and I realized that this was never going to give me fulfillment. We want more. When we crave and we crave, we take misery to our grave. We all want to be happy. And I'm not saying, okay, very important. I'm not telling anybody, stop enjoying life. I'm wearing a decent shirt. I am not one of those sadhus. Or I'm
You're not denouncing everything.
You don't need to.
No, because I'll tell you what, automatically people tend to confuse that if you need to follow a certain path, for example, spirituality or somewhere a self-realization of sorts, you need to actually give up everything that you have,
right.
Which means gadiya up, band kar do, stop living, stop traveling, stop, enjoying life to that, no drinking, no,
complete lies.
A lot of people feel that is important to actually go into that space or to actually achieve that. Is that necessary? Can you actually marry the two?
Absolutely, this is a lie. You know what? What have you seen? You see all the spiritual people in this world, Dadi, Lambe Baal, and they wear a robe. No, this is eyewash. Sorry to say. Spirituality is a science of the spirit. You can be glamorously dressed, but still be a goddess and still be a divine soul. It is not giving up happiness. It is not, people confuse it. Why? Because in the time of the Buddha, 2000 years ago, it was an ordinary world. There was a palace and then there were villagers and there was poverty. He had to give up the palace because there was nothing intermediate. That's why he spoke about the middle path. Raja Janak, very famous spiritual person, the father of Ram Sita, he was a king. We have to, you and me together, we have to tell people, spirituality is not becoming a sannyasi. You can be happy, you can enjoy the things in this world.
You can enjoy a final life and yet go down the path of spirituality. That's what you're saying.
The only thing is understanding that you are the divine spirit. Can you deny death? Will the body die?
It's an eventuality.
It has to happen, right? Will you die?
Well, hopefully, time abhi hai mera, lekin of course, yes, definitely.
I want to give you good news. You will never die.
My soul will.
No, you are not this body that will die. You have a beautiful appearance. You're one of the most glamorous personalities in the world. But a time will come and you have to leave this body. You know that time will come.
Yes.
But you will never die. That's why people will say, you passed away.
But that's also a legacy that you leave behind. There is a part of you that you leave behind.
But you're an immortal soul. And as long as you're living in this body, knowing I am a divine soul, you're spiritual. You don't have to go to the mountains. You don't have to go to the Himalayas. You don't have to give up eating food. This is a lot of garbage that you have to become. You have to fast. You have to roll on the floor. You have to have a long beard. This is a myth we have grown up with. See, I heard that you are born, I think, on the 23rd of October. Am I right?
That's right.
But do you know, that's on your birth certificate?
I believe that's, if there's any issue, then I'll have to catch my parents. If there's something that's not right there.
But that date is fake. You were not born on 23rd of October. So you arrived on 23rd of October.
Yes.
But don't you realize that on the 22nd or the 21st, you were kicking inside your mother's womb?
I presume, yes.
So you were alive.
Yeah.
So you were actually born when you were conceived. How many months ago?
9 months.
9 months ago. The Chinese celebrate birthday when you were conceived.
No, but then, I guess you have a point over there. A lot of people ask you that. What was the date you were conceived? Because that is the day you should
Nobody knows.
Yeah, you should actually celebrate. But I guess everybody, everyone's still wondering what was the day you were
conceived. Because nobody knows, right? When were you exact? But the point is, Malaika, when you realize that you were conceived 9 months ago, then you realize something much bigger. What were you? This beautiful appearance that you have today was not there. Then the next life, we think our mother and father gave us this body. What did they do? They were involved in an act of copulation. But beyond that, who made your brain? Who made your heart? Who made your kidneys? This is self-realization. This is spirituality. Spirituality answers two questions. You ask me, spirituality answers the question, who am I? And why am I here? What is my purpose on earth? Why this human birth? So the question why I gave up the glamorous world and the world of achievement, because I got the spark. I changed my name. My mother had called me Ravi. But I said, this is Ravi. I'm not this. I'm the Atma in Ravi. And I kept writing Atma in Ravi, Atma in Ravi. It became AiR. That's how AiR was born.
Well, now we know. I was very curious to know how and where did AiR come about. In fact, I must have asked that question many, many times over. Is it AiR? Is it, or is it something, can I actually just say AiR? But I think, like I said, it's a very beautiful abbreviation to your name, which I have to say was really interesting. Now, you have said so many, there are so many different kinds of people. I mean, something I always wonder, why do good people have to deal with bad things in their life?
Sad.
I always ask this question, and we always say it, you say it, we all say it when we're sitting. What bad have I done? I've been good to you. I do my thing. I do my duty. I'm a good daughter. I'm a good mother. Why does bad happen to you? And I'm not saying it about me, but I'm saying it's a general thing as humans we always say. Why does bad happen to us?
It also happens when you ask the question, why me?
Why me?
Yeah,
but that's a very typical thing. Why me?
Yeah.
What have I done why do I deserve this? I don't deserve to be dealt such a bad deck of cards. People always tend to say that.
It's very easy. You know what? In Bombay, there are mango trees, right? Have you seen in these mango trees there are apples growing? Have you seen?
No, never.
No. You come to Bangalore, I'll show you.
Are you serious? Has anybody seen apples on a mango? Yeah. Apples and mangoes, I get it, but not on a mango.
If you come to Bangalore, I'll show you, and you must be saying, I'm talking to an insane man.
It's interesting. I'm sure you've seen something which I haven't seen, but okay.
Malaika, apples cannot grow on mango trees.
They can.
Not in Bombay, not in Bangalore, not in New York, not exactly why bad things can't happen to good people. Let me explain to you. You're walking. You're just walking to a gym or you're walking. Some idiot passes by and splashes and you're dirty. And you curse the guy. And you wonder, what have I done to that guy? People don't understand the law of karma. The law of karma states what you do will come back to you. Suppose you plant mangoes, you can't get apples. So the point is, then you ask the question, but he was such a good guy. I know him from 25 years. He has never hurt anybody. He doesn't even kill a mosquito.
A very typical thing,
right?
I would say.
But you don't realize that karma doesn't end at death. Karma continues and it brings you back to earth in a birth. Did you choose your mother and father? Did you choose your nationality? Did you choose your gender?
None of it.
Who decided? Karma decided. So when we see bad things happening to good people, we have to understand he has not done something bad now, but he has a negative account of karma.
I always question that actually. I always ask that. And this is me. I do question it. I'm like, they say no, because this is maybe your past birth, your past life. And that karma is what is carrying on today. Is that what it is? Is that something that he or she has done in their past life, which actually carries on to the present? Is that what it is?
But that makes us ask the next question. Therefore, we are like robots. If everything is happening as per karma, that means we are just puppets, right? So whatever we have done in the past is no. So karma is one, what we did in the past, that's one account. Two, you and me, we can choose our action today. We have a willpower, we can
Absolutely,
choose.
yeah.
You can eat what you want, wear what you want, go where you want. So karma is a combination of our past actions and our present actions. It is twin karma. In the scriptures, it's called prarabdha karma, our opening balance, and agami karma, our present account. Therefore, you can choose your destiny. But let me ask you a question. You drive or you don't drive?
I do.
Very good. You're driving a car. You can drive the car, you can turn left, you can turn right, you can go forward, you can go back. Can you change the road? The road is paved. Can you change the road?
But you can change the path that you want to go down.
Yeah, you can turn your
Navigate
car,
here.
right? So the road that is laid is your past karma. You can't change what is unfolding as per your past karma. But you can drive your life, and that's your present karma.
Which is something I think everybody should truly take back with you after hearing this, because I think this is a constant conflict and a constant, you're constantly trying to understand that, because what have you done? Have I done something wrong in my past life? Is that why it's carrying on into my current life, into my present? So you're constantly questioning all of this. So I hope what you've said today actually clears or even gives people some sort of a reason to hold on to, or to feel better, or some kind of way to understand why, because we're full of why, when, who, what, we're constantly asking these questions,
yeah.
which is great. So I hope whatever you've said right now actually resonates with people, where you can actually go back and sit at night by yourself and say, okay, fine, this made sense. This actually made sense to me.
Because it's a law, and it's based on the principle, as you sow, so shall you reap. It's called the law of the boomerang. What goes around comes around. What you give is what you get. It's called the law of cause and effect. Cause and effect.
Absolutely.
Whatever you put in.
What you sow is what you reap. Absolutely. Do you watch films? Do you like, whether, Indian films, international films,
I used to watch
indie films.
I used to watch hundreds of movies, right from the time Mere Mehboob and then there were your era when I was a youngster, Amitabh's Sholay and the like. And even now, but recently, I don't watch those films. I watched the movie called Life. ये भी एक नाटक है.
Which is unfurling in front of us every day as we sit and speak,
Exactly.
right? कुछ ना कुछ हो रहा है हमारी जिंदगी
तो
में.
ये भी आप हमसे बात कर रहे हैं, ये क्या है? ये तो एक मूवी है. So I have stopped watching movies on the screen because this.
Don't ever say that to a fellow actor, because they'll be like, what do you mean? We make movies for people to watch. You got to go to the theaters and watch. So don't say
Nobody will ever stop watching movies. Let me tell you, I'm one recluse who, not that I don't enjoy. I love to watch movies because I'm so busy. My mission of life is to help people realize the truth. So when you talk of a movie, a movie is on a screen. The screen is the reality. And what you project on the screen is Maya. It's an illusion. At the end, on the screen will come the words, the end.
The end.
And then if you're sitting and having popcorn in a PVR or in a theatre, the guy will come and tell you, madam, time ho gaya, madam, next show. Chalo.
But I think why do you watch films? It's just it's an escapism, right?
It's fun.
That's
It's
what
fun.
it
It's
is.
entertainment.
It's entertainment, escapism. Few hours, you go, you kind of leave everything behind. You actually go with the flow. You transport yourself into another world. That's the good part of
But
film.
the beauty, Malaika, is this, that while we're watching movies, and we must watch, and it's fun to watch movies, we must realize the truth that everything is a movie. We talk of dreams. We say, it was only a dream. Suppose somebody came to you and told you, Malaika, can I just borrow your car?
I'll say no. I'll be honest.
But suppose they borrowed your car in your dream. Suppose they borrowed your most gorgeous, beautiful car, your favorite car, in your dream. When you wake up in the morning, would you go back to your neighbor and say, give back my car? You can't, right? You say it was a dream. But Malaika, everything in this world is a dream. Everything in this world is a dream. Finally, we have to live everything.
What do you mean by that? You have to elaborate. Why would you say everything in the world is a
See,
dream?
what is a dream? A dream is something you see in the night. You saw the dream. The dream was.
But again, dreams also, they say, happen at different intervals in your sleep, right?
Yeah, they happen and they
Deep conscious, semi-sleep, all of that, right?
But all dreams are real because you saw that dream.
Yeah. Some event that has transpired.
But what happened in the dream is never real. That's why you can never go back into your dream. Somebody who thought dream day before yesterday, can you go back into the dream? You can't.
Absolutely not.
So, while this world looks very real, these people, these relationships, we give so much importance to relationships.
Which was my next question.
But the point is, relationships are great. But what about attachments? When we get attached to people, to pleasures, to possessions, we become unhappy. So I teach people, one of my books is called The 10 Commandments of Detached Attachment. How to look very attached on the outside, But inside, you may love, but you're detached. Therefore, this world, spirituality is the realization that everything, in Shankaracharya's words, he says, Jagat Mithya, Brahma Satya. It means this world is only an illusion. This world is not real. Do you know, last year's Nobel Prize was given to 3 scientists for their work in quantum physics and quantum mechanics. They say these flowers that you see are not real. Every molecule of this is actually energy. And they are scientifically right. But how do we comprehend? You look like the most beautiful, I'll say goddess now, with 36 trillion cells in you. But every cell of Malaika is nothing but divine energy. Ultimately, everything is SIP. SIP means, people say God. I don't say God. Because the moment we say God, we think of Krishna, Shiva, Ganesha, Jesus. I say SIP, Supreme Immortal Power. God has no name, no face, no form. God is birthless, God is deathless.
I say the same to my child. I say, I believe in the supreme power. I feel there's a power over us, watching over us, and that is what guides us. And I say that to him.
Absolutely. I call it SIP, Supreme Immortal Power.
I want to go back to what you just said. You said attachment and detachment in a relationship is something, it's not the easiest thing to achieve. How do you go about that in your path, in your life? How do you actually how can you be in a relationship thinking you're attached but at the same time be kind of detached? I mean, I genuinely am asking this because I think it's an often asked question or felt, and I think every human feels it at some point in their life. They say, if you have to be in a successful relationship, be detached. How can you be detached? If you love somebody, if you crave somebody, you want to be attached. Why do you? So it's a contradiction of sorts. So how do you actually?
So the 10 Commandments, in the book, the 10 Commandments, FHLEPAMIPS, I'll send it to you later. The first commandment is, thou shalt be free, thou shalt be happy. The third thing is going to shock you. AiR, thou shalt love all. You may love somebody more than anybody in the world.
There are different kinds of love.
Yeah, the love of the rainbow of 7 colors. One of my books says, true love is bliss, not just a kiss. That's one of my.
That's a beautiful line.
So you have, suppose you madly love somebody. For you, your love for that person is love like SIP. You love that person like a god. That love is fine. I've written 10 bhajans on a subject called Prema Yoga. In that Prema Yoga, I say, Prabhu ke pyar mein aisa ek nasha hai, Prabhu ko prem karne mein aisa maza hai, प्रेमी में जो प्रभु पाता मस्ती में जीता है, प्रेम योग में जीता है वो आनंदा में जीता है, प्रेम योग से मिलता निर्वाणा. So your prem has to become prem yoga. So you love somebody and it's perfectly okay, but your love has to be divine. Your love does not have to be possessiveness. Correct. If it's possessive, then, oh, I love you. Where did you go?
That's, yeah.
Where did you go? Who did you call? Who did you meet? Nobody likes it. FHLE, no expectations. P, thou shalt not lose peace of mind. A, thou shalt live with acceptance. M, thou shalt not become miserable. Thou shalt overcome ignorance that I am a soul, I am not this body. Why am I getting attached to a body? P, thou shalt attain the ultimate purpose of S, realizing I am a soul. The moment, Malaika, you realize I am the soul in Malaika, I am a sin, a soul in Malaika, then you're free from these worldly,
which kind of bring you down and actually hold you back. It's very interesting. You told me about happy, which I really like what you said, and now the full form of what was
the 10 Commandments of Detached Attachment.
10 Commandments of
FHLEP, yeah, AMIPS.
I need that book. That's a book that I would really love to read and and understand and kind of try
The
to
world
imbibe.
needs it. Yeah, the
I
world
think the
needs
world needs it because these are definitely issues that everybody deals with at some level or the other.
it. Day to day.
Okay, simple, easy. How do you find that peace of mind? What is peace of mind and how do you find peace of mind?
Peace you cannot find. Peace you cannot find. Peace is within. Just
So you have
still,
to andar jhapna hai.
still your mind.
Okay.
Normally, a person could get so angry. No use. So, I was telling you, peace you cannot find. If you want peace, still your mind. Hindi, you're obviously comfortable with Hindi.
Ji.
So, in one of the songs I write,
I have to say, you have a beautiful voice as well.
मन बड़ा है चोर चैन चुराता है डर और चिंता में हमें फंसाता है मन को है मारना दुश्मन बड़ा है वो मन को जो मारे शांति हो पाता
क्या बात है
शांति से मिला
क्या बात है That's beautiful.
So, Malaika, how do you still the mind? This is the biggest. You know, in this world today, how many psychiatric specialists, how much mental medicine, the whole world is suffering.
Absolutely, and more so post-COVID, everybody is dealing with it at some level or the other.
When in reality, all you've got to do is flip over from a state of mind to a state of consciousness. A state of consciousness is, see, how often do you find you're sitting and this damn rascal, this monkey,
It's just
how many thoughts you get? He was supposed to come, but he's gone to his mother's house. But what is the mother doing? Why is mother like? Why is mother so possessive? You go thought to thought to thought to thought to thought.
only time you can still your mind is when you're asleep. The rest of the day, your mind is working. It's ticking. It is a organ full of a million thoughts.
But after
Kya
we talk
kare?
today, you will change.
Well, I'm certainly trying to imbibe that. I want to take this back and definitely implement it in my
You
life.
know what is the mind? M-I-N-D. Mind is full of miseries. Mind is full of ignorance. Mind is full of negativity. And mind is full of desires. You have to,
But it's fine, right? It's fine to have all of that in your mind.
negativity, no. Because in the mind is like a monkey. It's jumping. You have seen a monkey? Try to give a monkey one banana. You have 5 in your hand. Will
Go
he
for
keep
that.
quiet? He will jump. So we are like that. And the word monkey, M-O-N-K-E-Y, if you look at it, it has a tail, an E-Y. Cut the tail. What's left?
Monk.
Monk. You become a monk. So you can become a monk. You don't have to shave your head. You don't have to be bald. You don't have to be wearing maroon robes to become a Buddhist monk. No. Tame the monkey mind and make it a monk. EY means ever yelling, ever yearning. अरे ठीक है ना, enjoy करो. Wear a beautiful dress, enjoy, fine. But ये
Constant.
constant. ये चाहिए, वो चाहिए. I'm asking you, are we happy? You get it's not that if you have 200 pairs of shoes, you'll be happy. If you have 100 pairs
How
of
did
shoes,
you know I have 200 pairs of shoes?
Good, I know it at least now.
How did you know that? Now I'm
Because I used to have.
But it's fine to have those 200 pairs of shoes.
Yeah, but
as long
not-
as you're not yearning and you're not
Correct.
constantly wanting and needing.
You
Right?
don't want to make it 2,000. Because if you want to make it 2,000,
There's
it's
no
fine.
end.
Do you lose your peace? You lose
Oh my
your
God.
peace.
This is.
You get my point?
Absolutely,
See,
yeah.
now you see, you're going to St. Moritz and you see a beautiful dress on the window. Now the shop is closed. Tomorrow morning is your flight back to Zurich. But you want that dress.
Oh my God. I've been through this identical scenario. Let me tell you, I've played it in my mind a million times. I must have just been through the identical scenario very recently. And it just kept playing and playing and playing on my mind till I actually had to calm my mind and say, stop thinking about it. I know exactly what you mean.
So people have a problem. So I tell them very simply, when you're in a toxic thought, you know what you must do? When the thought comes, stop it, crop it, chop it,
But
drop it.
isn't it easier said than done?
No, you have to make it a practice.
Yeah, so then it's a practice. You have to follow a way of life because initially, like you said, it's like a bad habit. smoking, drinking, etc. It's not easy to just give up overnight. So it's something you have to tame and actually constantly tell yourself that,
But
right?
the reward is peace, the reward is bliss, the reward is happiness. See, a toxic thought will not make us happy. You know what? I wrote a book. I've written a book. It's called Stop It, Stupid. The book is called Stop It, Stupid. What does it mean? Haven't you done things in life which make you feel, what a stupid person I am? Haven't you done something?
Yeah.
So you look at the mirror and you tell yourself, hey, stop it, stupid. You've done that 3 times and now you're doing it the 4th time.
Oh God. Yeah.
We all do it,
We all
Malaika.
do.
It's not
Absolutely.
you.
No. I'm human.
Yeah.
I'm human, of course. Yeah.
So how do you have to see thoughts? They pour like rain. They push you down the drain and they make you suffer again and again. And thoughts, they don't knock at the door. Thoughts don't knock at the door. They come uninvited.
Absolutely.
They push you on the floor. You push them out and shut the door. This is consciousness. A beautiful word. Chit. It's called chit.
Yeah.
You have to reach that consciousness. And Malaika, that will be the most beautiful thing in the world you would have experienced. Far more joyous, far more ecstasy, a greater euphoria than all the champagnes in the world we've had, all the lobsters and the crabs, everything that we've tried. I've had it all. And now
you
I'm
witnessed
really having
this.
a ball because I'm so peaceful. I consider myself to be the happiest man in the world. Because you don't have to be a billionaire to be happy. You have to learn the art of happiness.
Oh my God. I'm going to go back home with so much of questioning to do, so much of understanding, so much of working on myself, because I think we're all a work in progress, right?
Yes.
And I think, but when somebody actually brings this to you, to your notice, it's important for us to implement it in our lives.
Because we all want to be happy. Which human being doesn't want to be happy?
Absolutely, he, she, everybody, her, him, everybody wants to be
People
happy.
are crying. People are unhappy. This journey of spirituality is liberation. Liberation from the triple suffering. People don't know. Suffering is of 3 types. Pain of the body, misery of the mind, and agony of the ego. Suppose you get agonized, anger, hate, revenge, jealousy. Some people, they say, I'll kill you. I'll kill. For what? You ate that piece of cake when I
Last
went.
piece.
Come on. You kill. Ego. The mind creates fear, worry, stress, anxiety, depression, regret, shame, guilt. Like how much we suffer.
Absolutely. We're talking about suffering and guilt and taming your mind and understanding and stillness. How do you, I know the terms attaining nirvana or nirvana, moksha. It's sometimes I find some of these things kind of go, over my head. If you have to actually explain it in lay terms to us sitting over here, listening to what you have to say, how would you explain it?
It's very simple. I ask sometimes Buddhist monks, what is nirvana? And they say nirvana is nirvana.
Exactly. If somebody had to ask me, I'd say the same thing. I'd say nirvana is nirvana because that's all I know.
Basically, the purpose of human life, they say, some people say moksha, some people say nirvana, the Western world says salvation. It's the same.
All the same.
It's like water and pani. Both are same. Water and pani both are same. What is it? The fact is that the body will die. And the fact is that the body is not reborn. The body will become ashes. But the one who left the body with karma, they have to come back to earth in a rebirth. This is what is called liberation from the cycle. Mujhe moksha chahiye. Mujhe mukti chahiye. Mukti, good. So mukti means what? Mukti actually means freedom. Freedom from this cycle of death and rebirth. Today he is John. Tomorrow he will be reborn. So this is the reality. And anybody who comes to earth, although we love to come, right? Wow, it's good life, having fun. What about that little child born blind? What about people who have no food to eat? What about a dog and a frog, a butterfly, a bee, a tree? All of them have souls. Therefore, the goal is to be free and to be liberated. The goal is not to return to earth in a rebirth. This is nirvana in one line. How can I be free from the cycle of samsara, the cycle of death and rebirth? But before you're free from the cycle of rebirth, you have to be free from all suffering on earth. That is the first small cycle. An enlightened person, a liberated person, becomes a Jivan Mukta. A Jivan Mukta means in the Jivan, he has got Mukta. Nothing matters. Worry, W-O-R-R-Y, everybody worries.
True.
Enlightened person says, what is W-O-R-R-Y? Waste of life, overthinking, repeating a fear, rehearsing a problem, and again yearning. So an enlightened person says, I don't want to worry.
I don't want to have any of this in my life.
Why worry? There is no need to worry. Why worry? Because no problem, then there is no need to worry. No problem, there is no need to worry. If there's a problem, there is no need to worry. Because if there's a problem and you can do something, then there's no need to worry. And if there's a problem, but you can do nothing, then there's no need to worry. Enlightenment is moksha, nirvana, mukti. It is freedom. Freedom from attachment, freedom from guilt, freedom from shame. Suppose you have guilt. Something you did 20 years back. Malaika, what can you do about it?
Nothing. Can't
But
do
what
anything.
is your mind doing? Your mind is
replaying it constantly.
You rehearse. You nurse your hurts. You curse your hurts. You rehearse your hurts. You nurse, you curse, you rehearse. You must reverse. And you reverse it when you are enlightened. Enlightened, a lot of people are confused. Moksha, nirvana, you ask me.
Yeah.
People ask me, how? Suppose you entered this room and there was nothing that you could see. What does it mean? There is no light. If you switch the light, what will happen? If you switch on the light?
You can see it.
Enlightenment is switching on the light inside. That is nirvana. That is moksha.
Well, that's very interesting way of putting it in a very simple way to actually understand what you're saying. These are terms that probably just go way over my
The job is to simplify.
Okay, if you have to simplify this job, I have a lot of people, a lot of friends who will be listening to this podcast because I am thoroughly enjoying sitting over here. It feels like you're answering questions which have just been going on in my head, and you're preempting it and answering most of those questions in my head. So a lot of my friends who will be listening to this podcast, is there a message that you have for them from the industry, Bollywood, Indian film industry? Is there something, a message for everybody out there?
Malaika, the message to the industry or to your friends is this. This world is a show. Not just Bollywood has a stage. This earth is a humongous stage. 8 billion people are actors. They come, they play a role. They have to go. Before the end of the show, before we have that signal, that time to go, let us find out, who am I? Am I this body? Am I the mind? I tell people, have you seen your nose? They say, of course I can hear. Have you ever seen your ears? I pull my ears. I ask them, have you seen the mind? I have seen the scan of my brain. I said, not the brain. Have you seen the mind? They said, no, I've never seen the mind. You haven't seen the mind because the mind doesn't exist. It's just a bundle of thoughts. So the message is, find out who am I. Am I the body? The body will die. Am I the mind? The mind you cannot find. I am the divine soul, that spark of unique life. Realize this truth. This is the message. And continue living your life.
Let the show go on.
Let the show go on. You don't have to give up anything. You don't have to give up your clothes and but live at peace. Why are you losing your peace of mind?
True.
What is it going to...
what are you going to achieve? Nothing.
खाली हाथ आया है, खाली हाथ
जाएंगे.
जानकर भी अनजाना बन रहा है दीवाने. What is the use?
True. Absolutely.
चढ़ता सूरज धीरे धीरे ढलता है, ढल जाएगा.
That's so beautiful, AiR. You've done so much. From business to spirituality to writing books to helping people in Bangalore, setting up spaces for for the less underprivileged. You sing, you write, you share or shairi. मतलब आप क्या नहीं करते हो? I'm really happy to be sitting over here and where we can actually talk today about realizations of a yogi. This is book number?
This is book number 65.
Wow. I'm sitting over here with book number 65. Let me tell you, it's really interesting. Can I open it?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so it's quite the... There you go. That's the book there. Most interesting cover I've ever seen. Tell us a little bit about the testament of the truth about life, realizations of a yogi. Book number 65 by AiR. Tell us something about the book.
Malaika, these are the true realizations that I had. I started my life with nothing. I achieved something. I became everything, only to realize I am nothing. What am I? मैं क्या हूँ कुछ भी नहीं, सब कुछ तुम ही हो प्रभु, तुम बिन मैं क्या कुछ भी ना, लहर एक हूँ मैं प्रभु, आता मैं जाता प्रभु, तू है समुंदर सारा, तुझ में समाता प्रभु, तुझी से मैं आता कुछ भी ना. See, this book talks about the real enlightenment that a man has when he goes on a talash, on a quest. I told you when we started, you are the most sought after princess, but the truth is you're a goddess. This realization, I tell people, man's greatest sin is man thinks he is man, but in reality he is a manifestation of God. This is all my journey, how I went from achievement to fulfillment. This book, The Realizations of a Yogi, share all my realizations. That it is a lie to believe God lives in the sky. I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am the soul. The Atma is Paramatma. How to be free, how to attain mukti, moksha. This
all
book
there.
has it all.
You covered it all in this book. Wow. Definitely a must read.
You must
Without,
read it.
I'm just flipping through it. I think it's just so beautifully, the illustrations that are there, the little things that you've penned. You say over here, most of us desire that and this. A yogi doesn't desire; he lives in bliss. How beautiful is that? That is really beautiful.
It's not that you have to give up your pleasure.
Which is what you said.
Right?
You don't need to. Yes.
Enjoy your pleasure.
Yeah.
But seek the real treasure. Enjoy your pleasure. Don't stop enjoying your pleasure. But don't ever forget what is the ultimate truth. Because that ultimate truth, we can't deny. We can't escape.
And live in the present.
Live in the present.
Most importantly. I think we've all forgotten to do that.
Being happy.
We've all had.
So remember I gave you this smiley ball?
Yes, actually I don't know, not too many people know that, the story
what is the meaning of smile? S-M-I-L-E. That's why I give this to people. S means spread sunshine. M means make others happy. I, inspire people to rejoice. L, when you give this to somebody, lower levels of negativity. And E, ensure when you smile, your personal happiness. So always be happy.
Thank you. That is so sweet. Thank you so much. It was so lovely chatting with you. It truly has been enlightening. It truly has been blissful. I will definitely keep all those thoughts in mind. I will implement it in my life. And
you are so divine.
No, nothing. I just feel happy that I could do this because, like I said, I've had the privilege of speaking to different people, interviewing different people in my life through my years of work. But this has been truly very, very different and interesting. So thank you, and I wish you all the very best.
Thank you.
Thank you, AiR.
Pleasure being with you.